From the middle of November, the mood starts to change. We go away from Scorpio planets opposing Uranus and squaring Saturn, and the energy being restless, irritable, rebellious, explosive, but also constrictive at the same time, to the more sensitive, compassionate Piscean energy as the Sun, Mercury, and Venus in Scorpio one by one trine Neptune and Jupiter in Pisces. Let's take a closer look. Hi guys, my name is Anastasia. I'm a traditional Western astrologer specializing in natal, relationship, and predictive readings. You can always book a reading with me at the link down below. I am currently running a Scorpio season special, meaning every Scorpio gets 20% off my natal and solar return readings. You can find the codes down there. Additionally, I have started creating planetary magic items, which at this point includes candles and oils. This is an example of a Venus candle. It has copper foil in it to represent Venusian energy. It was created when Venus was in Libra with the moon that was waxing and growing. So it has the power to aid with your relationships, your creative pursuits, inspiration, and imagination. I also have a Venus Cazimi candle, which has the benefit of being green, the color of Venus, smelling like apples. Really my favorite out of them all. And Venus Cazimi is still Venus in Libra, but the most empowered Venus, because she was in a perfect conjunction with the Sun, and the solar lights warm up Venus and, you know, set her on her journey and empower her. And there's also a Mercury candle that was created with Mercury in Virgo. This is exalted, powerful Mercury, and it can help your communication, speech, writing, can gift you with clarity and better self-expression. There are also oil versions of that, and the links down below. Thank you for listening. These are very important to me, so I wanted to share it with you. So we have Mercury, the Sun, Venus, starting around November 12th and until November 20th, they will be trining Neptune and trining Jupiter one by one, right? What is Neptune? Neptune is the planet of connected to the ocean, connected to spirituality and dreams and illusions. And Neptune washes away the differences. Neptune doesn't care about your status, your bank account. It just wants all of us to feel united and connected. Jupiter, currently in Pisces, will also be a part of this longer aspect. And Jupiter is a greater benefic. It's the planet of coherence and finding, once again, kind of like the meaning in it all and bringing things together and connecting, right? So as we get Mercury, the rational mind, Sun, our ideals, our view of ourselves, our goals, and Venus, the relationship planet, aspect Jupiter and Neptune, you can expect a sense of relief, because we started the month, and you know, I'm filming this on November 7th, which is very much still in the midst of lots and lots of tensions. And just seconds before I started filming, there was drilling outside, so fingers crossed they will not be drilling, or you will not hear it because the microphone won't pick it up. But early in the month, we had Scorpio planets first opposing Uranus, then squaring Saturn. And Uranus wants change. Uranus is lightning strike and brightness and excitement. And then immediately after that, squaring Saturn, which is like reality check, saying that yes, maybe you can pursue things, but you need to have structure, you need to sacrifice things. So maybe energy of revolution, but then a little bit of constriction. And so finally, as we get closer to November 12th and then going on until approximately November 20th, we get a lot more light, a lot more ease, a lot more joy and supportiveness, right? And please share with me, how is the beginning of November treating you? Have you felt any of these revelations and insights and major changes connected to perhaps Uranus and Taurus topics, which is your female power? You don't have to identify as a woman to have female power. We all have, right, like feminine and masculine energies in us. your body, your sexuality, your physicality, and kind of your legacy, if you've experienced any changes, as well as relationships. And like, how are you handling it, right? I need some tips for a friend. Just kidding. I mean, it's for myself. I need tips for myself, clearly. It's funny because like as an astrologer, you think that you're on top of things. You almost, at times you get this, not God complex, but you have this bird's eye view and you think you know everything and you're immune to it. And then the universe just like slaps you in the face and says, no, you're not immune to it. So definitely, I'm curious to hear how you're handling this situation and what your insights are. But starting November 12th, we can expect some of the softening energy of both Neptune and Jupiter, Piscean, watery, sensitive energy in the mix. And some of the ways this can show up, this can be the energy of forgiveness, right? If you've gone through breakups, challenging relationship dynamics, just sort of tensions, if you and the person in your life maybe are both struggling to find time to come together, this Neptunian energy can be very understanding, very generous, very forgiving. You see the other person for who they are, you accept them for who they are, and you feel loved. Maybe it's the partner, maybe it's a parent, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's the universe. This second half of November, right? No, second third of November, it could be very much about the sense of connectedness and sense of compassion towards yourself and other people. Whatever happened, whatever challenges you've encountered, you may also feel a sense of trust, believing that once again there's support. And even if you don't have all the answers right now, which you're likely not going to have all the answers right now, Mars is retrograde, squaring Neptune, lots of confusion in the skies, but at least you're likely to feel like things will work out, right? Like there's going to be an answer. This second third of the month can also bring some fun get-togethers and just literally like going out, having a good time. Both Neptune, Neptune is also sometimes connected to like the god of wine in Greco-Roman myth. I'm forgetting his name right now. Dionysus, I think. Is that right? If you can tell me, I'd appreciate that. Or Dionysus. I feel like that's probably it. But yeah, and Jupiter is very much jolly and, party like, rules Sagittarius. So just maybe having like an oasis in the middle of a desert, or more healing, more serious time where you take a break, you go to a concert, you get together with friends. It's a very fertile energy. There's lots of water. Scorpio planets, Venus, Mercury, Sun, all in Scorpio, aspecting Jupiter and Neptune and Pisces, just like water, fertility, abundance. So literal pregnancy is possible. Be careful if that's not something in your plans right now. And creative pregnancy is also possible. So you may get inspired. And for example, if you've been through some kind of tough things, right? Let's say you... let's go dramatic, but we've had like the sun oppose Uranus, right? And like the sun is your ideal. Venus was opposing Uranus. Your ideal of a relationship. For example, you are in a relationship and you had this image in your head of how things should be. You get married a year later, you get pregnant a year later, you kind of had like this timeline, and then suddenly you find out that your partner has a child from a previous marriage. And now your timeline, your image of your perfect partnership gets disrupted, right? Like it gets somehow like changed. And so this Neptune, I don't know why this example, I don't know anyone who's found that out, but that's part of what was my point, right? Like there could be creative inspiration, creative pregnancy, like maybe something you've experienced inspires you and you decide to tell a story and share your experience, or even share your ideal and bring it to the world. Both Neptune and Jupiter are very, especially in Pisces, they're very altruistic. So you can benefit a lot around this time. You can benefit internally and grow a lot, and even experience some kind of opportunities through your altruistic pursuits. Like, let's say you volunteer somewhere, but you're also looking for a job. And so you go to volunteer and you mention that, hey, I'm trying to become a teacher, let's say, and they know someone who knows someone who helps you find the job. So it doesn't come, you don't go after these opportunities from a perspective of like, oh, I can make something out of it, or I can gain something out of it, but you go at it from a desire to help people. Feeling more spiritual, wanting to learn more about spirituality, kind of connecting with the universe through meditation, learning about astrology is lovely at this time. And also, like I said, bringing you some kind of sense of comfort, I think, more so than maybe spending money on like a fancy beauty treatment, right? So, like I said, this energy begins around November 12th, lasts approximately until November 20th. Once we get closer to the new moon in Sagittarius, which is on the 23rd, there is kind of a lot more, I think, upliftment, but things do start to shift, and both internally and externally. So let's do a quick rundown and see what kind of benefits you can potentially expect based on your rising sign. I use rising signs because rising sign is a starting point in the natal chart, and from it, the position of all transits gets determined, right? So if you are a Taurus rising, Saturn currently being in Aquarius will always be in your 10th house. I use whole sign system. In whole sign, Aquarius is 10 signs away from Taurus. If you are a Taurus sun, you can be any rising, and Aquarius could be any house for you. That's why most horoscopes, when they're written for rising signs. I hope this makes sense. So for Aries rising, we have Scorpio planets in the 8th house, trining Neptune and Jupiter in the 12th. This could be, you know, if you've experienced any upheavals connected to resources and money and reliance on other people, and, you know, whether you can trust them or you cannot trust them, there might be a sense of like spiritual support and finding comfort in a philosophy, in meditation, in yoga, in some kind of spiritual practice. There might be like a softening effect. Helping other people can bring you a lot of joy and like a sense of validation maybe. And I feel like finding a sense of belonging in a spiritual practice, finding a sense of belonging in a volunteer work could make you feel connected. It could help you go through more complicated, turbulent times if you have been. There might be hidden resources coming your way, right? 8th house is the place of other people's money. Neptune and Jupiter are in the 12th. Both are hidden places. So, but it feels, I'm feeling this more so spiritual. I feel like meeting someone who can heal you, talking to a therapist, going through some kind of transformation, but just feeling like things you're doing or things you're going through are not in vain. For Taurus rising, Sun, Mercury, Venus in the 7th house, trine Neptune and Jupiter in the 11th. This feels like a lovely supportive energy from community and your friendships and social media. So if it's community, maybe you are getting involved in some kind of Meals on Wheels project and you start to help your community. If it's friendships, maybe you're like simply just going out with your friends and having a party and having like a great get together, that even though you've been through some shaky times, this is more consistent and this is something that you know is there for you. And social media too, presenting a project, pursuing, kind of putting your business out there and getting good results, I think is quite likely here, because we're connecting the house of partnerships to the house of friends and social media. So honestly, this could be as simple as also like you're talking about a relationship on social media if you're trying to grow your account, let's say, and it gets 1 million views or something. Or it could be more complicated as like starting a partnership with a friend or starting to date a friend as well. Definitely a possibility here. For Gemini rising, we have Scorpio planets in the 6th house, trining Neptune and Jupiter in the 10th. Good energy flow between your house of daily work, service, helping other people, overcoming hurdles, and your work. So it could be a few things. Could be feeling appreciated for the work that you're doing and recognized, and maybe financially, or maybe just getting a day off, right? Having a sense of comfort and having a sense of inspiration about the project you're taking on. It doesn't have to be a work project, but it could just be like something that the community sees you do, or people around you see you do, that they define you as. They say like, this person is painter, or they are school, I don't know, leader, mom, something like that. So it seems like your well-being might almost get stronger, like you may feel better physically if you commit to, or you know, if you feel like you're finding a sense of inspiration, you're working on the projects that make you happy. And there might be some positive developments to your career as well. For Cancer rising, we have Scorpio planets in the 5th house, which is the house of romance, trining Neptune and Jupiter in the 9th house, which is the place of education, travel, foreign lands. 5th house is also the place of creativity and children. So you're connecting those two: romance, creativity, and children, travel, education, expansion, foreign lands. Romantically, maybe you're starting to date someone foreign, someone different, someone well-educated, open-minded. There might also be a sense of learning and understanding yourself better, right? You're getting, like, 5th house is the house of pleasure, and if you've experienced some kind of transformation and changes to the way you view pleasure, Neptune and Jupiter in the 9th house can bring some kind of insights and philosophies and mentors and teachers who help open your eyes and help you see yourself and help you see your attitude towards pleasure and romance and even your children in a different light. And let me know if this is happening and if you meet any kind of mentors or important people. Could be a lovely time also to study something new, to learn more about your chart, book a reading with me, or, you know, like read something up online, kind of dive into who you are, to maybe understand a little bit of a background, where do your patterns come from and your decisions come from. For Leo rising, we have planets, Scorpio planets in the 4th house, trining Neptune and Jupiter in the 8th. And you have a good energy here, good connection between the house of foundations and the house of karma and debts and healing. So I can definitely see this as like healing past karma. 4th house is also the place of family. It's the place of your living situation. And 8th house is the place of debts and taxes. So getting a chance, getting some kind of reward through your partner, getting some kind of resources through other people that benefit your home. Like your partner gets a raise or they receive an inheritance and you're able to move to a better apartment, right? Or you're able to renovate. Maybe parents are helping you pay off some of your debts. Maybe you are healing a relationship with a parent and transforming it to be better, more supportive, or, you know, letting go of an unhealthy relationship. For Virgo rising, Sun, Mercury, and Venus in the 3rd house are going to trine Neptune and Jupiter in the 7th. Neptune and Jupiter in the 7th blesses your relationships and partnerships. And of course, Scorpio planets in the 3rd highlight communication, highlight your skills and hobbies. So as far as communication, this could be a really day of like clear communication in all relationships and understanding something about yourself and your partner through having an honest talk. 3rd house being the place of skills and business, and 7th house being a house of partnerships. there might also be an important client coming your way, some kind of important connection and resource that can benefit you in the future, as well as just if you've been struggling, leaning on your friends, leaning on your loved ones, and feeling connected to them, feeling supported, feeling understood and seen could be the themes of this aspect for Virgo risings. For Libra rising, we have Scorpio planets in the second house, trining Neptune and Jupiter in the sixth. Six is the house of daily work, amongst many other things, and second house is the place of finances and values. So feeling valued, as in recognized for the work you've been doing by simply getting a supportive comment. As a Libra rising, I wouldn't, I appreciate your comments, and they tend to be 99.9% supportive. So thank you so much for that. And yeah, like feeling valued, getting a financial bonus, some kind of financial gains are also possible here. And since sixth house deals with hurdles and health issues, this can also be the time when your health gets better, perhaps. And somehow your mental health gets connected to your physical health, I think. So focus at this time on thinking, and that's just in general, I think, a thing for, like, if you're a Libra rising, your sixth house of health is Pisces. And Pisces is a very, like, dreamy, emotional sign. So your emotions affect your health. So focusing on positive thoughts, reading some kind of mantra, meditating, journaling, anything like that can help you. And since it's the house of money and the house of health, literally like getting a massage, right? Seeing a good doctor, finding a decent doctor who's like a good specialist, and seeing some kind of hope and light at the end of the tunnel is a possibility here. I need to make a note to sign up for a massage. For Scorpio rising, Scorpio planets in the first house trying Neptune and Jupiter in the fifth, and like immediately fifth house is children, first house is you. Are you getting pregnant? Are you pursuing a new creative project? Is creativity, is your romantic relationship, is your favorite hobby and pastime becoming your source of joy and becoming your source of support? I wonder, because fifth house could literally just be like a really lovely romantic night, or it could be a new creative opportunity, a new creative project, like a start of something big and exciting. It's, especially I would say on the 15th, when Venus in your first house trines Jupiter in your fifth house, is probably the strongest potential for good luck when it comes to romantic, creative, and childbearing pursuits. For Sagittarius rising, we have planets, Sun, Mercury, and Venus in the 12th house, trining Neptune and Jupiter in the 4th. And for Sag risings, it hasn't been necessarily easy. Please let me know in the comments below. I know there's been a lot of like a need to face your self-defeating tendencies, your bad habits, your maybe control issues, right? Like you may not think that Sagittarius rising has control issues, but Scorpio is your 12th house, your blind spot, so you may not see them. You may not realize how tightly you hold on to control in some ways. So if you've been going through this challenging period of growth and deeper realizations and healing between November 12th and 20th, there might be some positive energy coming from your home, your family, your living situation. Maybe you close on a house that you've been dreaming about. Maybe you come home from a long trip and you've been traveling for a while. Maybe a family member reaches out and tells you they love you, and it makes you feel happy and supported and secure, because we all need a sense of connectedness. And I think that's why many of us find astrology, because we want to find some kind of sense of it all happens for a reason. And yeah, I've listened to a talk by Adam Ellenbass at some point on, like, he was talking about religion versus astrology, and how many people get go away from a religion. And you know, I'm not a proponent of anything specific. I practice, like, you know, I'm an astrologer, so clearly I believe astrology, but religions I don't have a strong opinion on. But he was talking how like people leave religion sometimes because it's harder to find tangible proof, while if you follow astrology, and astrology and religion are like two different, or any religion are two different things, but in astrology you get to live through things, you get to see other people experience transits, right? So it's a very different experience. So yeah, Sagittarius rising, finding comfort, finding security, finding support in your foundations, maybe even in your home and family, are likely here. As well as healing something, realizing that your self-defeating tendency perhaps has its roots in childhood, and then taking a different look, different approach to it. For Capricorn rising, planets in the 11th house, Sun, Venus, and Mercury will trine Neptune and Jupiter in the 3rd. And here we have good luck or great connection between your house of social media, friendships, networks, connections, benefactors, and your house of skills, hobbies, talents, business, writing. So you can get some kind of positive developments for your writing projects, for your speech projects, for your communication projects. Meeting people who can help you move your projects forward. Also, just even Neptune and Jupiter in the 3rd house can make you feel supported and valued by your community, and people in your immediate environment can help create like a sense of togetherness, and maybe siblings, neighbors being great support for you. For Aqua rising, Sun, Venus, and Mercury in the 10th house will trine Neptune and Jupiter in the 2nd house. And here we're connecting the house of career, status, and reputation with the house of finances and values. So financial gains are definitely possible here, but these are very watery, sensitive, emotional, spiritual planets. So I wonder if it's less so about money, but more so about being appreciated for the work that you're doing, feeling like pursuing some kind of project that makes you feel valued, that makes you feel happy and warm inside. So I think a shift might go through, like you might be going through a shift where you're choosing things not for the financial value, but more for spiritual value. But at the same time, it could be a good time to partner up with someone, to ask for a raise, to ask for a project that you are dreaming about. Finally, for Pisces rising, Sun, Venus, and Mercury in the 9th house are going to trine Neptune and Jupiter in the 1st. This is lovely. Neptune and Jupiter in the 1st house is good luck. It's you. So you are a vehicle for change. You are the optimism, the comfort for other people. So I wonder if you'll get a chance to support others, to step up and to be their source of comfort. And maybe you're consoling people, maybe you're mediating some kind of fight and bringing people together. There might also be important personal developments and growth connected to travel, education, both learning and teaching, legal matters, like if you're a lawyer, you know, or becoming a lawyer, taking an exam, and publishing. So writing and publishing and presenting your work are quite encouraged at this time. So this is it. I'm excited for the change. The start of November was definitely shaky and challenging. So I hope you have a great 2nd, 3rd of the month, and let me know how it feels in the comments below. Bye.